what happened to the markets? Why are we at where we're at? Why are we seeing rates deteriorate so rapidly? Well, let's go back to COVID. Well, COVID hit. You remember rates hit the floor. What happened? Why did rates hit the floor? Well, because everything shut down and nothing was shipping. So nothing was shipping, everything was shut down. Things started opening back up and people started ordering things. They found out that everything was on back order. So what they do, when you call your supplier and you say, hey, I need a load of whatever it is, they say, well, it's on back order. Give me 2. All right. So everybody ordered 2 or more. And volumes went through the roof. Look at volumes. If we draw a line here and we say, hey, this is kind of a range for normal, if we're looking back at history, and then this is outside of normal. What happened? Well, from May 31st of 2020 all the way until October of 2022, we had abnormally high rates. Okay, well, what's that mean? That means there's a whole lot of volume out there, and trucks are able to pick and choose what they want. Well, then what happened? Well, slowly, okay, 71 weeks in, we kind of peaked out. We crested out. It took 71 weeks to come back down in that normal range. Well, along the way, what happened? Well, what happened was a whole bunch of trucks jumped into the market. This here is a measure of fleets with 1 to 6 power units over time. Well, over time from 2020 all the way to 2022, these numbers jumped. Why? Because it was like a gold rush. People were jumping into the markets to get a hold of some of these good rates, and they were good. Admittedly, if you were in here, you made lots of money. So while things were good, people jumped in. Well, things started correcting themselves. You can go all the way back to August of 2021, even let's say September, October of 2021. That was kind of the peak. That was it. We started slowly coming down from there, and we came all the way back into the normal range, and we hit it perfectly at the beginning of this year, 2023. We're back in this normal range. And in fact, we've kind of held that, and we're in this normal range. We're actually at the top of the range right now. So what needs to happen for things to get better, for rates to get better? Well, we need less trucks in. Unfortunately, the trucks that jumped in and they paid too much for their equipment, $5,000 truck payments, $2,000 trailer payments, $2,000, $2,500 a month for insurance, because they're new drivers or whatever the reason is. Anyway, they pay too much. Their expenses are too high. Their cost per mile is too high. They're never going to cover that cost. Well, there's a whole bunch of money floating around too. So they got a little bit of extra money. They can weather the storm, but they're running out of cash now, and we're slowly seeing the capacity bleed off. So what we're monitoring is the tender rejections. Why are we monitoring tender rejections? Well, because this is an indication of how much capacity is in the market. If we look at the tender rejections, what we're going to see is that as the volume decreases and the capacity remains high, you're going to get less and less and less loads rejected. So as soon as we kind of see this turn around and start going the other direction, that is our indicator that we are reversing trend, right? That there's some sort of momentum shift in the market. Right now, there's no momentum shift. We are at the bottom, and this is the chart that I show my crew here, because you can easily look at this and understand where we're at. This is COVID low. This is us today. We're at the bottom. So now that we're at the bottom, you can kind of see momentum shifting. The question, and the $1 million question, is when? How long are we going to sit at the bottom, and when are we going to have some sort of reaction that takes us back in the opposite direction? Because that's what everybody needs. So in the short term, if you can manage to cover your costs, don't look for big profits. Some profits are good. If you can manage to cover your costs and your costs are low enough to survive, you're in survival mode. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with that.